Hi everyone, Amanda here from Little Lotus Yoga, and I'm excited to be chatting with you about our core and our pelvic floor. I know as a woman who's had 3 babies, pelvic floor and core health can be a buzzword. That being said, it can also seem a little overwhelming. What does our core really consist of? What is our pelvic floor? What should I be doing? What shouldn't I be doing? And how can I make sure that my body is functioning optimally and in the best way possible for each of our own health and wellness journeys? So I wanted to share with you today a little bit about our pelvic floor. So our pelvic floor muscles are the same muscles we use if we were to stop ourselves from peeing midstream or mid-urination. If we were to stop ourselves from expelling gas, those muscles we use are our pelvic floor muscles, and they sit like a sling within our pelvis. And what our pelvic floor does is it helps to support our internal organs. So things like our uterus, our bladder, they are all supported by our pelvic floor. Now, I know that you have probably heard, and I know for me growing up, I heard this all the time. People would tell me, especially other women, that once I had babies, it's extremely normal to pee your pants or to experience leakage after you have a baby. And I'm here to share with you that yes, that's really, really common. It's a common thing that a lot of people experience, maybe during pregnancy, postpartum, years afterwards, maybe during menopause for some of you as well. But that being said, experiencing leakage or not being able to control your bladder or your bowels, experiencing that, while it's common, is definitely not normal. And the great thing is there's lots of ways that we can use, lots of different resources we can use, tap into. There's amazing pelvic floor physiotherapists that we can use and tap into to help us really gain function within our core and our pelvic floor so we don't experience those types of symptoms. Now, people will often say to me, what should I be looking for to see if I'm having issues with my core or my pelvic floor? And the first thing I always share with them is please go see a pelvic floor physiotherapist. You want to find a pelvic floor physiotherapist who is in your community and is rostered to do internal examinations. So this is a little bit different than a regular physiotherapist who also has a wealth of knowledge to share. So if you're in a community and you're not sure where do I go to find a pelvic floor physiotherapist, you can Google within your community. There's lots of great websites and resources, but don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. Send us a message and we're happy to help connect you with somebody in your community. So the first thing we always suggest is whether you are having any symptoms or not, connect in with a pelvic floor physiotherapist. The reason being is sometimes there's things going on inside our body that we may not be aware of. And the second reason is it's always better to be proactive than reactive. So pelvic floor physiotherapists are able to do an internal examination and really get a true assessment of where our body is in the terms of our core and pelvic floor health. And if needed, they're able to help us create different systems for success in order to remedy any issues we may be having. And if you're not having any issues and you go to a pelvic floor physiotherapist and they check you out, they'll also be able to give you some tips and tricks in order to maintain that amazing function within your pelvic floor and your core. So going to see a pelvic floor physiotherapist is always our first recommendation. The second thing I want you to think about is I want you to think about different symptoms you may be having in your life. So we've already talked about leakage. That may be, leakage of urine or feces when you run, jump, cough, sneeze. It may be leakage at any point of like urgency. So have you ever thought, you know, I'm getting home, I don't really have to go to the bathroom, but as soon as you get to your front door, you're like, oh my goodness, I have to go pee right now, and I cannot hold it no matter what. So we also have stress incontinence, we have urgency with needing to urinate. Those are different signs and symptoms as well, and things that we want to be aware of within our body. Some other things you might be experiencing are back pain, pelvic pain. You might be feeling discomfort or pain during intercourse or penetration. So those are different things to look at in our life as well. Third thing I want you to know is please don't be embarrassed. I know sometimes these topics are really, really challenging to talk about. They're really personal. We can seem, you know, I don't want to tell people, is it only happening to me? Is anyone else feeling this out in the world as well? And I want you to know that you're not alone. Even though in these, you know, times when we might be experiencing these symptoms, it can feel a little lonely sometimes. And I want you to know that you're not alone, and there's so many amazing professionals out there who can assist us in really ensuring that we are in the best optimal health that we can be. So from my mama heart to your mama heart, if you have not seen a pelvic floor physiotherapist ever, or maybe, you know, it's been a few years or a year since you've seen a pelvic floor physio, please consider your pelvic floor physiotherapist in a way that you would with your doctors or your dentist when you go for your regular checkups. So not only when we're having signs and symptoms and issues come up, but also for that regular maintenance and checkup. Pelvic floor physiotherapists have a wealth of knowledge to share with us. Please tap into them. Find someone in your community, make an appointment. I promise you, they are going to have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. They're going to be able to help you on your journey. They're going to meet you where you are at currently with your health and wellness. And they are going to be one of the most caring individuals who you have ever met when it comes to wanting to help you. So I hope that was helpful in sharing those tips regarding pelvic floor and core health today. Again, if you have any questions or if you'd like to connect with a pelvic floor physiotherapist in your area and you're not sure where to go, send us a message. We'd